You're a landlord in Canada right now and you're struggling to find a tenant and get the rental price you're looking for. You don't know whether it's the ad, you don't know whether it's the photos, you don't know whether it's the price, or you don't know what you're doing wrong, but you're struggling and you can't get it done. You used to be able to fill this property only a couple of years ago in just a weekend or maybe a week or 2 weeks at best, and you were happy as a clam. And now you're struggling and you don't know why. I'm here to tell you why you're struggling, and I'm going to tell you the 10 things that I do, we do, and that our clients and investors do to fill their properties for good money and in a reasonable amount of time right now in 2024. Remember, folks, if you take value from this video, please like, please subscribe, please share with a friend. You're doing them and me a favor. Before we jump into the 10 points, let's take a look at the data so you understand why this is actually happening. So if you get back to the COVID era, we went through a little lull in rents when rents decreased about 10 to 15% there over a period of a year because just there was less transactions happening. COVID, you were locked in the house. We're not going to go there, but there was a little lull, and then rents skyrocketed back up as interest rates started to increase, and people needed to increase their rents to recover from higher carrying costs from interest rates, right? So what's clear and what I'm going to prove to you now is that even though rents might be down a little bit and you're struggling, over a period of time, the rental price in Canada is clearly up and to the right. I'm going to prove it to you shortly. Just watch and see. This is Toronto, okay? This is Toronto since 1990 average rental prices. Take a look. We're hovering around $800 in 1990, and in 2022, we're near $2,200. That's a 2.5 times increase in about a 30-year period here. That's nothing to shake a stick at. Now, what you can see, we've had some lulls, here during COVID, and then, again, more recently. And why is this happening? Why is this happening? Let's take a look here. These are one-bedroom apartment rents, which is the most popular type of rental in the city of Toronto. And since August 2023 up to January, rents have kind of flopped, kind of come up and then come down, and they kind of came up again into early part of this year and then down. What's going on? The reality is people aren't moving as much. Buyers aren't buying as many properties. Sellers aren't selling as many properties. That's a big mover of tenants, because if you sell a property with a tenant in, typically they have to move, right? And there's this thing called inflation out there in Canada as making life overall more expensive for everybody. Unless you work for the government, you are not immune to inflation, and people are feeling the pinch, and nobody wants to, very less people, let's say, want to take the expense of moving. This is what the data is telling us. Never mind the expense of moving, but nobody wants to move up to a better property, and that's why people typically move. You're not going to move from a 2-bedroom apartment to another 2-bedroom apartment unless you just want a better location. Typically, people move up from their home to an apartment, to a bigger apartment, to a bigger house, to buy a house, etc., etc. It's the move up that has stopped people from moving as much as they used to, okay? Now, that doesn't mean you should give up. Even though the data is telling us this, our investors are still doing very well when they are renting their properties. Yes, it's taking a bit longer. It's not taking a weekend or a week. It might be taking 2 to 4 and sometimes 4 to 6 weeks to fill the property, but they are getting it done with high quality tenants at or above market rents, and I have the data to prove that too. I'm going to show you the 10 things that we do and I do to get it done properly. Stay tuned. So these are the top 10 things I've learned in the past 18 to 24 months from filling many, many, many properties, probably over 100 properties in the last 2.5 years in this challenging market. And I'm going to share them with you right now. Number one, good homes and good areas attract good tenants. Sounds obvious, but we run into issues where people have good homes, nice 3-bedroom home, nice 2-bedroom apartment, but it's in a so-so area. And if that's the case, we're not in a place like we were in 2020 and 2021, where there's so much demand for rental, it's going to fill anyways at a high price. Okay, you got to understand that renters have a choice right now. So they're going to take the best 2 or 3 properties in the market in your subcategory. And if you don't fit the bill, you're going to have to lower your price to meet the demand, or you're going to sit there and be vacant. The reality is it's better to lower your rent by $100 or even $200 and get a tenant right away than it is to sit vacant for 6 months and lose 6 months of rent. Over a period of time, it's going to take you years to make up that 6 months of rent. Okay, it's not worth it. Lower it accordingly. We can help you and get it done quickly. Number two, your results are going to be directly tied to the effort you put in. Again, it sounds obvious, but we are gone are the days where you can fill properties in a weekend. I know sometimes once in a while it's going to happen. You're going to hear a story, but overall, that's not happening. As good as we are, it takes us 2 to 4 weeks on average, sometimes 4 to 6, to fill properties and fill them right. Okay, so you need to put the effort in. If you're not willing to do it, or simply you can't because you're busy with work, family, sports, whatever it is, hire a professional. No excuses. You don't want a vacant property in a market like this with high interest rates. You need to get it done. So put the effort in, hire a professional. If you need our help, reach out to us in the description. So let's take number three. Let's use this scenario. Let's say there's 10 homes similar to yours available in your submarket, in your neighborhood. I'm telling you with certainty that the top 2 or 3 are going to fill very quickly. If you're not one of the top 3, you're not going to fill, or you need to lower your price. So if your property is not up to par with the other ones, you need to bring your property standard up to par if you want to get those kind of rents, or you need to lower the rent. It's as simple as that. These are difficult conversations I'm having with investors weekly. So if your floors or wood floors are kind of busted up, well, you're going to have to spend $2,000-3,000 to refinish them, or put laminate floors or vinyl floors over them, make it look pretty, and it's going to rent for the price that you want. And if you don't want to spend the $3,000, well, lower your price $150, and it's the same deal. You're just going to make a little bit less. Gone are the days where you can just rent it and expect, hordes of people to come through. You have to be up to par with the top players in your category. Number 4, pictures, and pictures. If you don't have good pictures, it doesn't matter how nice your house is, no one's going to see your ad. Or they might see your ad and no one's going to click on it. Or they might click on it, but no one's going to book an appointment. I don't understand why people can't invest in the good pictures. Everyone's got an iPhone or a Samsung. It takes amazing pictures. Do it yourself. If you don't know how to do it yourself, hire someone to do it. It's cheap. It's not that much money. If you don't have time to do that, well, hire a professional. We can do it for you. Please, no excuses, okay? The pictures represent your property. No one's reading the description. Pictures are going to sell your property and get you an appointment. Number 5, if the platform allows, add a walkthrough video to your listing. I can't tell you how important this is. It separates you from the rest. Because if you have good pictures and a good walkthrough video, people are able to get an 80-90% feel for the property before they ever show up. And the quality of leads that you get to your property is going to increase dramatically, because people who don't like the property are just not going to show up. And you don't want those people anyway. So if you're getting 3 appointments, 4 appointments a week, and they're watching your walkthrough video, you're doing really well. In fact, when people reach out to us, I send them the walkthrough video again. I say, make sure you watch this before you come. And those leads who show up are the highest quality we get. Do not skip this one. Number 6, news alert. No one's reading your description. Nobody cares. You can write an essay, a technical paper. You can write a white paper in there. No one's going to read it. You have about 4 seconds of attention span. You need to be very clear on what's in the property. 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, nice backyard, large basement with bright windows, brand new kitchen, patio door. Point form. Nobody's going to read your poem. It's just not going to happen. So skip that, make it clear, concise, and skimmable, and you're going to do well. Your good pictures, good video, skimmable ad, you're laughing. Folks, get this right, and you will see good results. Number 7, reality check. Again, Facebook Marketplace is the industry leader. It saddens me to say that because I'm really not a fan of these big social media companies, but Facebook Marketplace is the leader. Kijiji is not even a close second anymore. It's just the way it is. You can still post to Kijiji. It's not going to kill you, but don't be spending money bumping ads on Kijiji. It's not worth it, because Facebook Marketplace is free and it's driving the vast majority of traffic. You can post good pictures, you can post a walkthrough video, and you can check people's profile. right when they book an appointment or when they inquire. It's simple, it's intuitive, and it works. Don't skip it. If you're technologically unsavvy, if you don't know what you're doing, hire a professional. The link is in the description. We can help you. Number 8, do not blindly trust what your tenants or what your applicants tell you, especially in this challenging market. Okay, we've seen with less demand in the marketplace, we've seen some professional tenants out there try to take advantage of landlords who've been sitting on the market for 3, 4, 5, 6 months, and not renting their property. And they feel like, there's an opportunity there to take advantage of them. So be very careful and do double the verification. You need to verify income, you need to verify job, you need to verify their identification, verify their credit check, and you are going to very likely skip 95% of those problems forever. Here's a good tip. Sue me if you want. Walk the tenant back to their car if you really like them. Take a look inside the car. If it's a mess, there's a good chance that that's the way your house is going to look. Okay? It's a tip I learned a long time ago. Please use it yourself. Number 9, get the training you need. If you're not tech savvy, if you don't know how to use a computer, you don't have an iPhone or a Samsung, you don't know how to take pictures and video, you don't even know how to use Facebook, well, get help. There's training out there. We have training classes on exactly how to do this. Reach out to me in the description and I'll get you set up if you don't. But if you don't need our help, there's other people who can help you, and there's other training, or please hire a professional. And that leads me to my 10th point, is that if you don't know what you're doing and you don't have the time and you're struggling and you're stressed out and you don't know what to do and you're searching the internet and you're praying to God for answers, hire a professional. Like it's not worth the stress, folks. It's not. I know some people are struggling out there, but we can get it done. Like this is not supposed to be an advertisement for our services. It's supposed to be a warning to you that there's no need to struggle. There are professionals out there who can help you, and if it's not us, there are property managers, there's other realtors. Please look for people who are experienced or working with investors. There's people out there who want to help and who can. So if you're struggling, please ask and you'll get the help you need. Let's close this out by saying, if you're struggling, these points are going to help you if you actually put them into action. I promise you they will, because we've been using them ourselves during this challenging and interesting market that we're in. And when we put all these things in place, we are successful 99% of the time. You need to use them. And if you don't, reach out in the description. I want to talk to you. If I can't help you, I'll point you in the right direction. Talk to you soon.